We will be starting in 2 minutes. As Rick said, we'll be streaming in the DAO HQ for anyone in world, and we will also record the session and upload to YouTube after that. So in case someone is unable to join, you can watch the recording after that. Give us 2 minutes and we'll kick it off. All right, folks, let's start with the presentation. Thanks all for joining the community all hands meeting. We have a lot of exciting updates for today. So passing the ball, who will be presenting from the foundation?
It's Dana, me, Nico, and Alvaro.
Yes.
Amazing. So for the community, you can go to the Slido link. That's the code and the QR code. You can scan that one in case you have any questions. We will be checking those at the end of the meeting once we're done with the presentation. If anyone can also copy and paste the link in the chat, that would be awesome. So let's start with marketing updates. Dana?
Yes. Hello. You can all hear me okay?
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Can you flip to the next slide? I have like all the easy slides. It's just like fun things ahead. So this is the events program. As you guys know, we just did the first trail event, and coming up is the live music trail. But I think we just wanted to show, Kim wanted to show this because there's a lot more happening later on in the year. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, we're planning on doing a prom and a PJ party, a LAN party, a Fright night. So there's a bunch of like new-ish events to look forward to. We also have I know everyone's getting excited for Fashion Week. That's coming up pretty soon too. So yeah, just super excited to keep the amazing energy that we started off the year with going. You can flip to the next slide, Kaze. Look at Discord behaving so well for you this morning. Whatever energy, this is good. So yeah, you probably said a lot of expletives before you joined. I think that's why it's obeying. Yeah, like I said before, this is like a new type of event that we're trying out. We're trying out these trail events, which is like we all get together and we hop around to different builds in world. The builder event was amazing. You guys, the submissions were phenomenal. The new builds that were made, like it was just a blast to see everybody in world jumping around together. And yeah, I hope the music trail is the same. We have a lot of submissions already, but if you want to participate and you don't have a build, you're free to post in we put it, oh, what is it called? I think it's called event planning, the event planning chat. You can find somebody there who can help you if you want to perform but you don't have a build. If you have a build but you don't have a performer, you can network in that channel as well. Or if it's like you just don't know who to reach out to, feel free to like slide in our DMs. We can help you get connected with people. So yeah, really would love to see like new people getting involved. Don't be shy. The community here, if you're new, don't be shy. The community is amazing and they will happily welcome you. Next slide. Oh yeah. So this is just like a thank you to everybody. I think Yamel said it in his little speech that he gave at the party, but this world wouldn't be anything without the people using it. And so I think like the 5-year anniversary party more than anything was a celebration of you all that commit to this platform. You build, you use, you publish wearables, and 5 years, like I was saying this to Kim, 5 years in Web3, I feel like it's like dog years. Like every year that you're alive, you multiply it by 7. So it's just like, yeah, it's such an amazing achievement. So just giving you all a round of applause and all the love. Next slide. Yeah, and then this is something that I'm super excited for, and I think I've been sliding into your DMs, some of you who have created wearables before, but the Wearables from Around the World showcase, I don't know if you guys remember, but for the All About Wearables event, the foundation reimbursed every first submission that you did. So this is a way, like if you have a wearable that you've been thinking about publishing, but you don't have the funds to cover the mint fee, like we will happily cover that for you. So like, or if this is like the first time you've never made a wearable before and it's a lot to invest $100 in publishing something, we will happily like reimburse your guinea pig experiment. So please don't be shy, like get those wearables in. And also, like if you submit to this competition, there's going to be this super fun catwalk that Faye is working on where like everybody's going to get to walk the runway with their wearable. So yeah, just a great first step in participating in the marketplace. And then we have an exciting announcement coming out tomorrow where we'll be giving you all a sneak peek of the 2 3D experiences that we'll be building for Fashion Week, that the builders will be building for Fashion Week. So super excited. The Fashion Week, I know we took a year off, so it's coming back stronger than ever. I think that's it for marketing. I think now it's like product. Oh, this, yes. Also, community workshops. This is like just so we can all learn together. We've heard from a lot of people that it's a little bit difficult to find like where to get started with building, you know, if you want to make something in world, or if you want to make in a mode, or if you want to make a wearable, it's a little bit difficult to find fellow beginners. So we're going to start doing workshops in Discord. Kaze is amazing, and he has spearheaded this initiative. So if you want to teach somebody, or if you want to like, yeah, just, we would love to hear from you if there's an idea that you have, or if you want to lead a workshop. So feel free to, we can drop the type form in the chat too, but feel free to submit the type form there. So, and I think that's it for me. Now I pass it on to product.
Thank you, Dana.
Yeah.
Just a comment on the workshop. In case anyone has any questions on that one, let us know. I'll share the link to apply in case you're interested in leading those workshops, which will be a regular initiative that we are planning. First one on 19th of March. So I would love to have as many awesome and experienced creators as possible to apply. We can sync on a DM. Happy to work with all of you. Going to the product team.
Thank you, Kase. Thank you, Dane, as well. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you here again. I will be presenting together with the rest of the product team the latest product updates from the past 2 months, and also letting you know what we will be working on the next 2 months as well. So next slide, please. So for the new people here, we work in cycles of 2 months. Now we are finishing cycle 10 this week and starting cycle 11 on Monday. So it's been a long journey so far. We continue with this way to roll. On cycle 10, we focus on bringing back the friends feature, something that was a really important feature that we missed from the old client. So now we are bringing that back. Alvaro is going to show all the details in a couple of slides, but just as an overview, we'll start with the cycle 10 with all the improvements that we have there with focus on friends, and then we'll be talking about as well on cycle 11, which is mainly about polishing and bug fixing and some new cool features coming up, but we'll go into the details in the next slides. Next one, please. So here, I'll pass it to Alvaro so he can present the expert features that we've been working on during the past cycle. So all yours.
Hello, everybody. So yes, Nico mentioned, we have been working on Friends and a few social improvements. I'm a little bit of an extra, so go to the next slides, please. On Friends, as we mentioned, we wanted, this is a long overdue. It's something that we should had since the beginning on the beta. But we have Friends now back, and it's better than ever. So we bring the friend request, and we have worked a lot on making sure that whenever you receive a request, that you get notifications, and also you have like an online presence, so you can see whenever some of your friends connect, you are aware of that. But let me show you how that works. So go to the next one, please. So now we have a new icon on the left side. If you click on it, if the video works, okay. So if you click on it, it will be loading your friends. It will be divided between online friends and offline. And of course, whenever you click on a friend of yours, you can open the context menu that will have many options. For now, it has the view profile, but you can also copy the address and name, and you can open the profile directly from there. And in the profile, you will also see that you have a friend relation status there. And we have also a new tab for the request. There is a few of there that I have sent. And then I'm gonna ask my friend Fran to send me a friend request. As you see on the top, we have a new notification there. If you click it, it will automatically open the friend request with a message, and you can see now that we have mutual friends there. So you have more awareness of what that petition is. And yeah, you will see a fancy notification there. But also, in order to show you really how it works, well, from here you can actually jump to the friends location. But in order to show you how that works, I'm gonna remove Fran. Sorry, Fran. If it, what happened with the video? Is it frozen? Yeah, apparently is. Let's see. Is a little more. Go to 75% of the video probably. Yeah, so you can unfriend there, and I will click on friend to open his profile and start a new friend request. So I can add it directly from there, and I can add a message, an introductory message for the request to be accepted. And as soon as I send that, friend will be receiving the same notification as I did. And now we have a new notification back that you will see that Fran already accepted, and I see the online status because he connected just for me. And I will receive a notification that I have accepted, that Fran accepted my request. So that's all for friends. Next slide, please. We also wanted to do, we have tons of ideas for chat improvements, but we wanted to work on the basics, on the ones that are more needed. So everybody was complaining about the scrolling and how new messages were screwing up with the history. So, well, I'm going to show you directly. So go to the next slide, please. Now you need to be aware that you can close the chat. The input bar is going to be always shown, but you can decide to close the chat there. But you can click on that now. It will be, by default, it will be open. But you will see now that we have a new tagline that is the new messages. So whenever I receive new messages, the scroll won't be affected, and the new tagline, it will be displaced to the bottom. We have a new button here, so you can scroll down automatically to the bottom of the conversation, and you will see how the new tagline is being displaced. We have also integrated the new, the mentions. Mention is back. So now you can press add, and you will see the suggestions, and you can press the keyboard up and down to select the suggestion you want. There is an additional way to actually do mentions. So we bring back the list of members for the chat. So you can click on this icon and see all the people that is connected there. And on the context menu that I showed you before on Friends, now you have this add mention that will automatically add that text to the input. And if someone mentions me, I'm going to have a special frame that highlights that specific message so I don't miss it, both in the chat and in World. Those messages, you cannot really hear that, but those messages have special sounds. So you can go to the settings and on sound, and you will be able to decide between if you want to hear all chat messages sounds or exclusively the mentions or none at all. Also, a few improvements more. We have bring back copy text, so you can use the context menu on a message to copy and right click on an input to paste it. And also we have bring back the links, so you can type a parcel location, it will automatically convert it to a link. You can also write an URL. Be mindful that you need to write the HTTP // otherwise it won't work. And also as an additional one, this is a new one. Yeah, we have this message to confirm, so we don't have any malicious link there. It's up to you. But then we have this new link for world. So if you type the name of a world, in my case, it's going to be olabra.dcl.edh. It's also going to be converted to a link, so everybody can jump into your world or whatever world you want to mention. Next slide, please. Yeah, we mentioned this 2 months ago. We're going to be working as well on the tutorial. We wanted to make this experience a little bit better. We haven't really improved everything that we wanted to do, but this is a big step. So we wanted to make sure that you are able to go back to the onboarding to relearn about the basic concepts. And there is a few additional steps that we have added because they were missing. Um, we also have the control overlay. Go to the next slide. I'm gonna show you directly. So we have this new button on the toolbar to show you what are the controls are, so you can access that anytime. But if you go to the next, please, I'm not gonna show the full length of the tutorial, but at least I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna tell you a bit which things that we have changed. So now you can find Tobor in the Genesis Plaza. So you can go back to the tutorial. It will automatically teleport you there. And here we focus first initially on adding a couple of steps there. Just make sure that you know how to walk and to run in the world. So we have a new mini game at the beginning that you will need to be pressing the AWS keys. Also, we have a new step for the cursor, so you know how to move around, either if it's lock or unlock. Yeah, that's gonna be shown here. We wanted to improve this even better, but at least we have something there. And also we focused on making sure that we have a little bit more of a cinematic experience. So we have integrated new features into the SDK. So now we can control the camera. We can show you exactly what we mean when the characters are telling you to do something. So particularly here, we want to make sure that whenever you talk to a character, you go into a cinematic mode. You talk to the character in first person, and if that character is mentioning, for example, this bridge, we're gonna have a specific cinematic to show you what do you need to do next. This is a kind of contextual thing that we want to improve all over Decentraland in general for all the places that we work on the foundation. So yeah, a few things that here and there you will see those improvements if you jump to the onboarding scene and try it for yourself. Go to the next slide, please. Yeah, and now I leave you with Nico and Show that will show you about the Creator Hub and the SDK.
Hey, thanks, Alvaro. Yeah, I'm going to cover a few features that are for you content creators out there. So next slide, please. The first one is about testing wearables in the new client. As you know, the new client has different shaders for wearables, so it's always been a bit of a challenge to know how your wearables will look when people try them out in the new client. So now, whenever you're submitting a wearable through the builder, you can now open the preview like this and actually try out those wearables and see how they look with the new shaders. And you can combine all of the wearables in like a single collection or combine them with other wearables you had before. And you can try that out here in the backpack or also out in the world and see how they look when you run, jump, perform emotes, and all of those things that you want to make sure that the wearable behaves as you expected. So yeah, this will be coming out very soon, in the next few days. Next slide, please. We jump to the yeah, thanks. There we go. So the next one has to do with testing multiplayer locally. So this has always been quite a challenge. Before this, if you wanted to test multiplayer in your scene, you had to first publish the scene, and only then you can actually visit it with two people. But now, thanks to this change, which is, by the way, already live, you can now just open two tabs with the Creator Hub, and those two tabs can have different users, and those users will see each other, and whatever things they change in the scene, if these things are synced, then the changes will be seen by both players. So this makes testing multiplayer functionality way easier, and doesn't require publishing to production just to see if it works. Next slide, please. The next one is a series of improvements that we did to the UX of using the Creator Hub, mainly for adding and using assets. So in this case, you can just drag a 3D model into this area at the bottom of the screen, and you'll see a little thumbnail of the asset, and you'll see if you want to import it or not. But you can also import multiple assets at the same time. If I select two assets or more, I can just drag them together, and you'll see that this dialog now has a little arrow that lets you jump through them. And by the way, the second one there is an image. You don't only you can also import images, sounds, and videos, not just 3D models, same way. And for example, if the 3D model already has, if there always is another model with that same name, you can rename it right there, and that will change the name of the model that is being imported. You don't have to go and rename the file manually. And also, if you have models that are made up of several files, you can all import them in one go. For example, this avocado has several images, a binary, and nevertheless, it recognizes that this is a single asset and that it's only going to show you one thing when you're importing it. And now these imported models can all be found inside my local assets tab, and you can navigate the folder structure, which is possible, but it's sometimes not as straightforward and friendly as you might want. So we also added the alternative to have quick links on the side. So there you can see all of the models, and there's other links for all of the images, all of the sounds. And this displays all of the models, no matter what folder they're in, as long as they're somewhere in your scene. So and then I can just drag these models right into my scene to add them. In this case, that long neck from Horizon is not so big, so we can just increase its size. By the way, I made these models with an AI tool, Rodin, I believe it was. I would encourage people to use more of these UI tools for text to mesh because they're really, really handy for Decentraland. Just keep that in mind. Next slide, please. The last thing I want to share with you is a bigger project. So this is about allowing people to create events where things are used dynamically. So there's this new scene admin smart item, and it has several settings. You can, for example, make it public, meaning that anyone can be an admin of the scene, or you can make it private and add an allow list of users, and only them are admins. And then there's a bunch of configurations that let you set what an admin can do in the scene. But it's easier to see this in the scene itself. So notice now that there is no pink square. That cube that I had there is invisible in the scene, but as an admin, I have access to this UI that you see up there at the top right. It has several panels. One of them is for controlling video. So right now I can just paste a URL into that field and click share. And now everyone in the scene will be seeing that same video starting at the same time. I don't need to pre-schedule anything. I can just change that dynamically whenever it suits me. I can change the volume, pause it, unpause it, restart, those things. So as an admin, I can control the whole experience of watching a video together from here. There's also a panel for smart items. So I can control any smart item in my scene also as an admin. So they're controlling some explosions, which I can trigger whenever the time is right in my song or in my experience. I also have some confetti up there. And yeah, I can of course also configure these items so that they can only be controlled by the admin through this UI, and give it something special and keep my scene a lot more interesting. I can also send announcements as an admin, so I can write anything I want up there and share it, and then everyone will see this little UI down there. And of course, this gives my announcements a lot more legitimacy than if I just write in the chat, "Hey, I'm admin." So yeah, with thanks to this, you can make events that are a lot more spontaneous. You don't need to rely on pre-configuring everything from before, and you don't need to rely on having your own servers to do these things. You can just use Decentraland in-world experience as your way to controlling things as admin. So next slide, please. That's all for this round. Yes. So
awesome. So that's all for the cycle 10. Most of the features are already being published or being published in the next couple of days. Like friends and the chat improvements will be published on Tuesday. So we'll be making the announcements in socials. So yeah, very excited for the things that are coming. If you try these new features and have any feedback, please let us know. Or if you find any issues, please also contact support. And regarding Cycle 10, that it's starting next Monday, we'll be releasing features and improvements by the end of May and also by around mid-April. That's the length of the cycle. So yeah, let's get into the details of the cycle next. So as I was mentioning at the beginning, this is a special cycle. We usually build a bunch of features, but we've been looking at the platform, hearing the comments from all of you here and all the users basically. And we of course we know that there's a lot of things to polish, a lot of bugs to be fixed. So we decided to spend and to focus a little bit more than half of the team this cycle 11 in polishing bugs, fixing bugs on the scenes that we know that are not maybe not working exactly as expected, wearables with emissions, things are not working as good as well. Also with emotes, together with some UX improvements and polishing that we know we are still missing both in the client and in the Creator Hub, some technical debt, and we still save some room for cool features that we will be going to mention next. But I wanted to share that for us, this is going to be focused mainly on bug fixing and polishing. So yeah, I think that was something that we needed to do, and we're going to put the effort this time. Next. This one thing that I wanted to announce, which is really big. I'm not going to say much at this moment. Just wanted to tell you, to let you know that we are going to start working on this. We already started working on this on the past month, but we're going to start the development of this new feature that was announced in the manifesto. It's called Marketplace Grades, and it's coming soon. So I will just leave it there. This is going to be huge, we think. And we're going to work on this in the next couple of months together with the rest of the features that now Alora and Nico will present next.
Hello again. So for the next cycle, as Nico mentioned, we're gonna be focusing on bug fixing and polishing, but we didn't want to left out a few features. So there it is. Go to the next one, please. We will be working on re-including the profile pictures. As you saw in the video of friends, we already have profile pictures in the friend list. But we need to replace that on several other parts, like the list of members in the chats or your profile and things like that. So now we are in a situation that we can do that. We can work on that. And also being able to bring back these, swap your name between the ones that you have claimed or adding a custom unclaimed named, bring you to the location so you can easily claim a name for your account. Next one, please. And we unfortunately we didn't have much time to finish the block players in the previous cycle. It was part of the French initiative, but we're gonna do it right now. So yes, we're gonna have a new tab in that list to show you the block of players. Whenever you block a player, we will hide that avatar from the environment. You will see these messages in the chat as block player, and you won't be able to show them. Okay. Next one, please. And yeah, of course, we want to bring back private conversations. So as part of a few things of the chat improvements, we do sort of refactoring to make sure that we can bring private conversations back and have a really nice integration with the chat bubble. So you can really easily identify whenever someone is mentioning you or sending you a DM or talking into the Nearby channel, but also getting ready for group chats is something that we would like to encourage, so people can have group conversations around certain topics. So yeah, that's what we're going to be working on. Pass it to Nico, that's going to show you things on the Creator Hub. Next one, please.
So yeah, on this new cycle, as Nico mentioned before, we're going to focus mostly on fixing things. So there's not all that many fancy features, but the things we will be working on are, first of all, allow you to see the console on the new Explorer. So that's where you'll find all of the error messages and things that might be super useful for you if you're trying to debug a scene. We want to make this console more accessible, and we want to make this console a lot more complete, showing you a lot more information that is essential for you when developing a scene. Next slide. Then on the Creator Hub, we have a whole bunch of UI improvements that we want to make. I won't read the whole list, but basically there's a whole, besides fixing bugs, there's a whole lot of design depth that we have. So for example, whenever you're publishing a new scene, you have now this status page. But if you close that, you can't re-access that status page. We need to be able to reopen that. Or for example, whenever you're moving the camera and dragging items, you're using the same mouse buttons to both move the camera and drag items. So it can sometimes be a bit jarring that you might move something when you're trying to just move the camera. So we want to redesign that interaction. And there's a bunch of other tiny things that I think can make a big difference in the enjoyment of using Creator Hub. Next slide, please. Now, the final thing is a bit more exciting. So this is about taking what I just shared before, this scene admin, and basically taking it to the next level. So what we want to include now is the ability to control streaming from the admin. So the admin can now just have access to the streaming key and the streaming ID, and they can share that with whoever is using OBS, for example, or something like that. And they can use this, and these people can use the very same streaming channels that we use for chat and for updating player positions to stream their camera and stream video. So with that, it won't be necessary to, have something different. Sorry, one second. I'll be right back.
Parapatim tim tirim tim. Parapatim tim tirim. We need a core theme music.
We have one.
Mel can sing.
Bring it back, Stoya.
Elevator music.
Sorry about that. There
Same
was a bit
vibe.
of an emergency with water in the building. But never mind. So I was just saying that with this new feature, we'd be able to, one, control the streaming, like allow people to stream from OBS, and two, also allow people to just upload a video and have that run through the same streaming channels. And of course, this way of streaming is a lot better for users since we can ensure that it's well in sync and everyone is seeing the video properly as a group rather than just sharing a URL and hoping that everyone is seeing their URL at the same time. Yeah, thanks. And that is my final update.
I think that was the last one. So we are going to the questions. I know that Yemo sent one new Slido link. So bear with me so I can go to the. Wait a second.
Hey, Kase, I share it on the chat on
Yeah,
Discord.
let me find it.
I think the other one was closed by the dates, and so I create a new one.
Okay, I won't be using the admin one. I think we have just a few questions. So, and I don't see that many upvotes. So let's go from the first one that we see. Kathleen, when is Epic Games Stream release planned for?
Hey, so the update, I think we have a like Epic Games. Is the listing is pretty much ready. We can like I think hit publish and that will be done. I think we are in the process of doing a lot of bug fixing in this cycle, and I think it will let us in a better position. Because once you publish, we expect to get the hit of a lot of users and reviews, and so wanted to polish a little bit more the client. Yeah, this cycle we have staffed a lot of people for exactly that. So maybe in 2 months, we can publish on Epic. Steam, I think we are, yeah, more things need to be done in the process of getting ready to publish. Maybe Q2.
Thanks, Yemo. And the next one, How close is multiplayer synchronization not being able to support shooter games?
So
I
shooters are, sorry, go ahead.
go, Nico.
Shooters are ambitious because basically, lag between players can make all the difference between you thinking that you hit someone and the other person thinking they weren't hit. Player versus environment shooters, those should be definitely possible, but player versus player is a bit more of a challenge. Um, I wouldn't promise anything in the short term. I mean, it should be possible, but maybe not up to standard in terms of lag, I would say.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we're
Nico.
investing some time in research to improve the multiplayer experience, and we're going from okay, let's ensure that a basic platform and avatar standing on it looks great. Okay, that use case is working well. Now let's add this other kind of experience that is multiplayer and we all want to do. I think shooter games go to the most, as Nico said, the most ambitious thing because we don't have an authoritative server. That means like there is no one owner of the truth of the world, such as in Fortnite or any other games that has like a central server that runs the scene. So I think that would be hard if we want to have something similar to like Fortnite kind of shooter. Um, but we are investing our time in making the multiplayer experience better and better, use case by use case. We'll see.
Thanks, Timo. Next one is nice new additions to the Creator Hub, Nico. Two questions. URL to JPEG when and can there be a token gated setting in the Creator Hub for scenes in Genesis?
So the first of those, I imagine refers to that right now, if you try to place a texture that is a PNG, it works, but if it's a JPEG, it fails. That's a minor fix that we have in our backlog. Should be hopefully happening in the next few weeks. Sorry about the delays with that, but there's quite a backlog of little fixes like those that we have to tackle. The second one about token gating experiences, um, that's a interesting feature times. Definitely want to do that. It's not right now in the short-term plans, but yeah, it's really something that would be really cool to do.
Thanks, Nico. The next one is when a chat window improvement scheduled. Currently, chat snapping back while scrolling when new messages comes in. Hard to follow the chat when you miss some. Thank you.
We have scheduled this release for next Tuesday. Um, so yeah, next week, Tuesday.
Amazing. Going to the next one, it would be nice if the chat bubble was visible for longer. Currently, it's 3 seconds, 10 seconds or longer, depending on the message, would be better. From below.
Yeah, it's a nice suggestion. I will look into that. Maybe we can have a slider, so you can customize that yourself in the settings. Yeah, we will. I will think about it.
Thanks, Aul. Is there any plan to acquire users?
Yeah, we have a few plans to acquire users running at the moment. We have some marketing campaigns with like paid ads on different platforms, like Google Display and YouTube are the platforms that are converting the best. We are around like $2 per download, which is like a good number comparing with other benchmarks in the industry. Getting around like 800 downloads or $1,000 a day by day. We are like looking closely at this funnel, and we are seeing some drops. Like the biggest drop is between the download and actually like opening the client. We Our main hypothesis is that Like now it takes like 30 seconds to download the installer. So in this cycle, we're building a much smaller version and faster version that you can click download and it downloads it like in just a few seconds, like maybe 5-10 seconds. We believe that's a it's being a blocker for onboarding new users. Like so we have many campaigns on this front of paid advertising and bringing people on board and like drilling on the funnel on each of the steps and what the data says and how we can improve those numbers. I also we have been testing other platforms like on the Web3 side, like Quest, that yeah, basically we incentivize users to jump and install Decentraland and do some stuff, reaching other audiences. That's looking better in numbers, but we'll see if that people is actually retained in the long term. So we have some experiments running, and yeah, we set the big budget around like $2 million for the year in acquisition, and we're testing different ways to do it.
Amazing. Thanks for the insight, Yemo. And just two more questions. Is the feature to stream from your PC directly in the Decentraland is under development with easy implementation like drag and drop?
Yes, so what we're going to be building on the next cycle is allowing you to just drag in this CNAT smart item, and then if you're an admin of the scene, you can just open the UI and copy and paste the ID of the streaming to software like OBS. It's relatively easy. You still need to, have some familiarity with OBS or other streaming platforms. But we want to enable as a next step, which I don't know if it's possible to fit in with the scope of the next cycle, but it's within the nice to have scope that we'll try, is to just directly allow you to just stream directly without having to go through OBS. But I don't want to overpromise with that. Eventually, we want to do that. But for now, the scope we're aiming for is to use OBS as the way to do the streaming. There's still definitely no code. You don't need to have your own server, so it's way, way easier than what you have to do now. But it still requires a little bit of tech savviness with some software.
Yeah, maybe if I can add something regarding streaming. Yeah, we have one initiative in this cycle to build a simpler solution to stream inside Decentraland without needing to like set up your own streaming server. That's something that like the Decentraland infrastructure will provide to you. So as Nico said, you will get the URL and the info needed to stream from your OBS into this server, and from there to the scene to go directly. And also, like you can connect to, I don't know, StreamYard and other streaming platforms. But that's the kind of streaming that will have like some latency, like it's maybe 10 seconds latency. There is another way to stream that is more like a call, like a peer-to-peer communication, uh, without using OBS, and the latency is like super small. I think that's a next step for us, but not this cycle, but hopefully the next one.
Thanks, Yemo. And just two more questions. Can landowners eventually uh, that one got removed? Ah, okay. So can landowners, that was the question that was showing before as the first one. Can landowners eventually have control of the skybox to work like those in Mandia's world? So basically to control the skybox in Genesis.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to say that this is already possible in terms of that we have a parameter in the world definition. You can find the documentation here to define a fixed time in the skybox, but it's currently not working. We didn't give compatibility to that as of right now. We need to fix that. I don't know if about controlling the time or the speed of the skybox and stuff like that. That's something that we've been considering, but also we have been discussing about being able to include your own cube map in the scene, so it replaces the skybox. But that includes that you need to control the lighting, the directional light, indirect lighting, and all kinds of stuff. So it's a little bit tricky, but we want to do something like it. I don't know when exactly. I don't know, Nico, if you had something to add.
No, that's I mean not the next few weeks, but definitely in the next quarter
Yeah.
or something. I would love it if we can at least change the time of day. That I think is a relatively
Yeah.
low-hanging fruit, and we can aim for that.
Thank you. The next one, can Audio's Web3 music platform system be integrated in the Decentraland to have a playlist user interface with a music streaming from playlists, or there is any other plans for it?
So remember there was a smart wearable that handled that. Um, so I believe it should be perfectly possible to replicate whatever that smart wearable was doing as part of a scene. Um, I'm not too familiar with the details about how the platform works.
Yeah, technically possible, and actually we develop a, as you said, Nico, a version of a portable experience that it was kind of a, or a smart wearable with the headphones that let you hear music. But yeah, that was part of a partnership we were doing with Audius that it didn't happen at the end. So we invest some time in building it, but we didn't get Audius to sign off all the contracts and that stuff. So I think like the project is in the freezer at the moment, but technically possible for sure. Maybe we can check it out and see if we can release it anyways. I don't know. Give it away for free. We'll see.
May have missed it, but anything new on the smart wearables in vehicles? That one goes towards the functionality that we're currently missing in the new client for smart wearables.
I can take that one. Um, we don't have it. I can't promise a date right now, but smart wearables is something that we hear a lot. It's something that we should bring back from the old version. So I think smart wearables will come sooner. Vehicles, I don't know. It's a pretty cool idea. Also a big feature. Um, yeah, not much more to say on that at the moment. But of course, we'll keep you all updated once the things make it into the cycles.
Thanks, Nico. Is there are there plans to implement different styles of walking for avatars?
Yeah, I can take this one. Yeah, we've been discussing this for a long time. We don't have any plans right now to do this. But yeah, it's something that we would love to do. Especially if we can increase that as an economy for be user generated economy, so people can define his own walking, idling, running styles and sell it on the marketplace.
That would be pretty cool. And the last question that we have, at least for the time being, we do have a few more minutes. Is there a public repository to keep up with the latest bugs updates in the SDK? I believe the answer is yes, Nico. And I don't think the SDK is a private repository and think we can share that, but let me know if I'm.
Yes, it is. The repo is public. I'm sharing the link here in the chat. So we'll be able to see the issues on mainly these two repos. There's the Creator Hub repo and the Unity Explorer repo. The Unity Explorer repo tracks issues that have to do with the renderer, and the Creator Hub tracks issues that have to do with everything else, even issues that aren't necessarily related to the code that is in that repo. We're tracking everything to do with the creator experience as issues in this particular repo.
Thanks for sharing the links, Nico. Any development on the AI side of the Decentraland, like AI NPCs? Current one in Genesis Plaza is very outdated. It seems taking long for uh, for a reply.
We don't have much updates on like AI NPCs. Um, remember we updated like the knowledge base of the one of the AI NPCs some time ago. Um, but we haven't like been improving or testing different providers. The space moves super quick, and I'm sure that there is a better solution out there that the one that we are using. But to be honest, the focus right now is like in a lot of bug fixing and polishing the platform and paying the technical debt. Maybe
Outside the
later on.
foundation, outside the foundation, there are people working on things. For example, I know Astrom has been working with some stuff with Eliza. There are different projects which are pretty exciting to check out if you're curious.
Thanks, Nico. Yeah. The next one, any plans for allowing users to run faster for faster paced games like Rocket League? I think that kind of similar to what Alvaro mentioned on the different works, but let me know, Alvaro, if you want to add anything else. You're muted if
I think that's
sorry.
more part of the SDK kind of things and combination with multiplayer. So I don't know if this had much to do with the Explorer.
Yeah, the short answer is not right now. Maybe second half of the year we can add more different kind of locomotions for the avatar, but not in like the short term.
Thanks, Yamo. And the last one, for maybe the third time, any plans for global events that happen that happens weekly in specific times, something massive and remarkable that takes place globally? Dana, I think we already shared the events calendar, but let me know if you
Yeah,
want
yeah. I can drop the link in the chat, but like there's we have and Bay, actually is Bay here? Yeah, she's here. I don't know if you want to come up and talk, Bay, but weekly, no, it's more monthly, and the massive, I would say, Fashion Week, like the traditional ones, Fashion Week, Music Fest. My mind is going blank. But those two are the ones that are like the massive ones this year, and then there's like the smaller events. Oh yeah, okay. We should bring Bay up. I don't know if you can make her a speaker, Kaze. She said she's happy to come on up. Mel, start singing the elevator music while we wait for Bay.
Ba-da-ba-dim, dim, dim, dim. Ba-da-ba. This is from The Simpsons. Maybe you recognize it.
She should be able to request speaker. Bear with me for a second. I'll bring her up.
Also, while you do that, I'm gonna drop the link to the schedule. It was in the manifesto for anybody who's curious, so you can always like go back and read there.
Bay, go ahead.
Rip. I don't think we can hear you, Bay.
Yeah, sometimes Discord has a bit of issues with mics and music and screen share. Like usually restarting would fix it. I'm not sure if that would fix it for Bay. So we'll share the events calendar and let's go to the next question, which is which part of the cycle is full graphic setting options with many options to change graphics precisely? Um,
Um, Yeah, I think we have that for the previous Explorer. We didn't include that here because we wanted to customize the experience to actually know what are your device settings and try to have an auto settings for that. We're gonna be doing a few improvements in terms of graphics for the next cycle. I don't know if we're gonna be including new sliders or toggles for the settings, but yeah, it's something definitely that we want to do. It's probably gonna be a combination of that auto graphics and then adding customization on advanced mode.
Thanks, Alvaro. Bay, do you want to try again? Okay, anyhow, let's go to the next questions because we do have a few more to go. Is there any plan to fund creators to build it on the Decentraland? I guess the short answer is yes. Yemo, would you like to add anything to that one?
Yeah, on definitely yes. We have like a significant budget assigned this year for creators. I think we will do it in two different ways. The first one is like we're on the still on the hire of a developer relations person. Um, there are a few good candidates in the pipeline being interviewed, but we haven't like settled with anyone yet, just yet. I think we are waiting that person to help us manage those relationships with the creators and communities. That's one part, and the second part is like the Creator Connect program that looking looking forward to connect artists with builders to bring some like particular piece into a central. So that's another way to fund builders, but maybe like connecting with like another artist. So Creator Connect and the DevRel are the two initiatives. I think the Creator Connect is already in motion, at least. Yeah, maybe Bei or Kim, or Kim, Bei cannot speak just yet. Well, yeah, soon. We'll let you know.
Thanks, Yemo. And the last question, where to find the daily active user statistics, desktop application or web export? Does the foundation have this data?
Regarding the previous question, Bei is saying in the chat that the details are about Creator Connect are coming in March. Um, and regarding daily active users, I think we don't have the statistics published in the central domain. We do have the information for sure. I think DCL Metrics is like the community run project that gets this info. I mean, the info is public. Like if you are connecting to the communication server on the Catalyst, you can check how many users are active. We have two different like realms, one for the web version and another one for the desktop version. So you can get that info by like polling the servers, and DCL Metrics is in a good position to display that data. I think that we can make that info available per request. Like if someone wants to like dive into the data, maybe yeah, you can send me an email or send like support an email, and maybe we can share some info. I think we don't publish it in like main decentral.org domain. Uh, yeah, because maybe we love to see the numbers like being like huge, and I don't know, it generates a confusion, and I don't know. But I think we can make that info available per request or like a public project get this data, make it available.
Thanks, Emil. What's the status of the DAO at the moment? A little bit of confusion around who is in charge.
Um, the last update I have is the DAO has voted a council, 5 representatives that now have the responsibility to designate a person or a team to build an operational company, and also set a budget for that company to operate. I think this is pretty recent, like the council has a few weeks. Yeah, and I don't have much info about that. Maybe I don't know, someone else can give us another heads up.
Alrighty. Last question. I guess Mariana Orcanesa will send a bit of chat on the DAO as well. Last question, back to the graphics. Currently low graphics setting providing the best visuals as clean visual in brackets. Medium, high, making it bloomy. Not that clean. Can bloom be separate?
Well, if it's best visual or not, I think that's part of personal preference. But yeah, definitely. I mean, Bloom is part of big of the identity of the Decentraland because a lot of wearables and stuff like that have emission, and emission works with Bloom in order to shine. But yeah, as I mentioned before, we want to work on having advanced mode on settings so you can disable all these effects, including all the post processing and shadows and stuff like that. So yeah, we can integrate that at some point, but we don't have that for the next cycle. That's for sure.
Thanks, Alvaro. And the next question, when Bay. I hope next time we'll do a bit more testing before the meet, so hopefully we won't have any technical issues for the next meet, which by the way would be in April. So take a note, we'll create the respective events for the next all hands meeting. And I think that's pretty much it. Just one last comment, as we mentioned initially, on every one of these meetings, we give away 1 year of Discord Nitro, and the team just shared with me that the winner for this meet is Simple. So Simple, congrats. I'll make sure to send you a DM just to send you the reward. And from my side, thanks a lot for the time that you invested with us today. Thanks for participating in the meet and all the amazing questions. And happy to see you again during the next meet. Foundation, in case anyone else has any other comments, feel free to go.
Yeah, I don't have more comment. Thank you so much for coming here, sharing your thoughts and also questions. I see Canessa is typing for a long time. Probably she's giving an update on the DAO side. Awesome. Yeah, well, looking forward to see you soon. I don't know, in real life or in the central.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Everyone, have a good one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.